Hey guys, RPM here. Hope you're doing well and having a really great day. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing a new Mystic Miner server case. And look at this, it is in beautiful red. And the biggest change that I can see right away is that it has a 5-inch screen, 5-inch HDMI screen, which is integrated into the motherboard. All right, back here. It looks like there's a wire that goes there. So we're gonna open it up, look at all the specs, and go through it all in this video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Thank you to today's video sponsor, nerdgears.com. If you guys are looking for GPUs, which they just looks like they got a few new ones in stock here, and as well as their two 40-volt 30-amp PDUs. They just got these in stock as well. You guys have seen these on my channel. Super handy to tell how much power you're utilizing on 240-volt. Check it out, guys. Link down below. All right. So, thank you to mysticmining.us for sending me this Mystic Miner V3. You guys have probably seen previous iterations of this server case that I've done on my channel here. This is the Mystic Miner V1, this is the Mystic Miner V2, and now they have a version 3. I think this is their best one yet, obviously. And actually the biggest change I noticed is that it is extremely light. I believe they made it 20 pounds lighter than the previous one. This one is like, I think, made out of steel, as I can barely lift this one, and it doesn't even have GPUs in it. And when it had GPUs in it, I couldn't even lift it myself. I couldn't lift it myself. It was extremely heavy. And so with this new iteration, I like that it's really light. I could even lift it with one finger. That's how light it is. Really excited to open this up. But yeah, it has the 5-inch screen. It's got 6 120mm fans. I believe these are 140 or 150 CFM according to their website. And then going through the back here is a 3300 watt power supply, which is only usable on 240 volt. But then a new update to this case is that there is an ability to add another 3300 watt power supply over here. I recall when I reviewed the Mystic Miner V2 that I was thinking about adding another power supply to this, as they had one on this side here and potentially, you know, doing one up here, and looks like they did that revision. So that is pretty awesome that they did that here. Now, just quickly talking about the packaging, it was really nicely packaged and had a lot of bubble wrap all over it, and there was no damage or anything. The shipping in this was really good, and I believe that was due to the, I would say, better packaging on this Mystic Miner V3. When my Mystic Miner V2 came, I did have a big dent, and that was probably due to shipping. You guys can see it right here. So it looks like it's much better now. It does come with 2 handles here, which I'll install in a sec, and also a C13 to C14 cable for the power supply, and as well as a wonderful installation instruction sheet here, and also a spec sheet, which I will go through as I go along reviewing the case here. So guys, let me go ahead and open it up here. Okay, that was much easier to take off the top, as there was only 4 screws on this Mystic Miner on each side. So versus the Mystic Miner V2, it had screws pretty much everywhere, and it took longer to take off the top here. But the good thing is they use these types of screws, which is like more heavy duty versus, you know, the PC screws. So this is definitely much better. All right, so looks like there's more bubble wrap inside here. I'm just gonna take this out. And all right, let's take a look on the inside. I would say very similar to the Mystic Miner V2. And I would say a little difference here I see is actually a little spacing here, which looks like they have the fan controller in the middle now. All right, versus the Mystic Miner V2, it was over here on the side. Okay, not in the middle like the V3. So that is a nice touch there. All right, now it looks like we got some of the screws here. GPU, all right, looks like it has the GPU screws here, so that's a nice touch. And looks like you guys can see here, there's the 5-inch screen, HDMI. All right, and it looks like It looks like I'll need to plug in the power, I guess. I guess this is the power for that HDMI screen. And looking along here, okay, typical B250 motherboard, but actually it looks like Mystic Mining has their own branding on it now. Mystic Mining. I believe this is a B250 chipset, and it has an upgraded i3 processor now. Alright, it doesn't come with the, you know, typical Celeron or G3930 or something like that. It's now an i3 and also 8 gigabytes of RAM as well. So that's a nice touch. Okay, here's the 3300 watt power supply. Looks good. Looks like there's a lot of strands here. And it looks like I think there's 12 strands, but each strand has 2 8-pins. So this Mystic Miner V3 has the ability to add another 3300 watt power supply. They do sell them separately on their website, mysticmining.us. So that is pretty cool. You can add one right here, and then you could do 12 3090s or 12 3080 Ti's if you had the 3 8-pins, right? And so you'll have the ability, I think 6600 watts, which is awesome. You'll have a lot of capacity to run those high power wattage GPUs. And also the good thing about this is also there's a 65 millimeter spacing in between here. So you could fit, I think, 95% of the GPUs out there. Obviously there are some that are much bigger and wider. You just have to make sure before you put them in or decide to get them, just understand what your dimensions are for those GPUs. So pretty cool. That is awesome. I wish I had a 3300 watt power supply. Oh wait, actually, I could probably take this one out of the Mystic Miner V2 and put it in here. You know what? I will do that in another video, okay? I do have 3090s, some 3080 Ti's, some 3080s. I could try to do a massive build in this and have the two 3300 watt power supply. Let me know if you guys want to see that. I'm not going to do that in this video. I just want to keep this video just showcasing this Mystic Miner V3. Anyways, one thing I wanted to do actually is turn this on, and we just want to see if this is going to boot into HiveOS or whatever OS that this thing has. And I just realized there is no, this is the mSATA slot here. So I'm going to have to get an mSATA, or I can do SATA, but I don't think there's a SATA power here anywhere, which is okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna get an mSATA SSD, plug it in here, and see if it turns on into, if we're gonna see HiveOS boot up here. So be right back. Alright, so I plugged in the USB, alright, for the power for this HDMI screen here. And you guys can see it goes into the motherboard USB here for power, and HDMI obviously for the video output from the motherboard. So interesting way, but hey, that's pretty cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn this thing on. I got it plugged into 240 volts, and here's the power switch. Alright, and it turned on automatically. Lots of airflow. Let's see if anything comes up on the screen. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. It's flashing. Yeah, like, oh, that's pretty cool. It said Mystic Mining. I think it's going into HiveOS though. Let's just see here. Yeah, it's going into HiveOS. That's awesome. Wow. That's a pretty nice looking screen. Good size. I can read it. And yeah, that's good. Wow. Looks good. All the fans are running. Yeah, it's in HiveOS now, so it's working. Yeah, that's great. Wow, I really like that screen. That's a really nice touch. All right, this thing is definitely screaming as all the fans are, let's see, these are, it says Zaycan, are 2.7 amp. That's a decent amount of power. All right, one final thing I want to talk about is the price, all right? Some people might be asking about that. This is, I think, $1,050 on their website right now for the whole package. And they do have other parts on their website where you can buy individual parts, like just the case and just the motherboard, obviously just the power supply. And actually the power supply is very nice because it has the specific lengths for the GPUs, right? So there's no excess cable, all right? So cable management will be very easy, which is really nice. But yeah, you can buy the individual parts, but $1,050. It is comparable to, I would say, like an Octominer. You guys know, buying an Octominer, maybe not the X8 Ultra, but the X12 Ultra, right? There is the ability to do 12 GPUs on these as well. So, you know, personally, there are definitely some advantages to the Octominer versus the Mystic Miner. I would say the power supplies, the hot swappable power supply I really like. I like the HiveOS integration into Octominer within HiveOS. I think that's a nice touch. And the 140mm fans versus I think the 120mm fans on the Mystic Miner. So I'm assuming that would be a little bit of a difference in terms of, I would say, air capacity, airflow, as these are 120mm. But I will do a GPU test in this Mystic Miner V3. You guys can let me know down below. I will probably do 6 3090s, and then I have 6 3070 Ti's. These are powerhouse cards as well. So 6 3070 Ti's and then 6 3090s. I wish I had 12 3090s, but I just don't have those. They take too much power. But I will put that other 3300 watt power supply from the V2 into here. I think that'll be pretty cool. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you to mysticmining.us. Link down below if you guys are interested in this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, and peace out. Oh, there's no bar this time. That's a little bit of a difference I forgot to mention. Yeah, well, which is fine. Don't need the bar, don't need the bar.